Welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Hey, we were just kicking it before this podcast. We were talking about some things, and we were talking about how people are. I'm just gonna say, nobody want to put all their cards on the table when it comes to this dating game, and people don't want to be vulnerable. And I'm using T's term. Nobody want to be hurt. Let me say this to y'all people. Fucking love hurts, goddamn it.
Yes,
It
it
hurts
does.
bad.
Yes, it does.
So, how bad do you really want to get a wifey or a hubby,
Hmm.
or do you just want to have friends? So,
Hmm.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna go with that and roll with some other things. What do you think about this? I don't want to get hurt. I want my chest to hurt. I want my heart to hurt. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of
So,
here.
see, the weird thing to me about that is like, if you don't want to be hurt by this person, it's time to move on and carry on because you're playing around with the wrong person for too long. Like, let it
Absolutely.
go. Like, if this person don't, me and my cousin had a debate. Okay. And she was like, I don't want to come off pressed. I can't be pressed about a man. I said, I'm sorry. I like for men to be pressed about. I would want a guy. I'm tight, right? No, I'm calling you. I'm calling you. Yeah, call me. Now I'm answering. Hello. Now I don't got nothing to do. Nah, you ain't called too much. If you borderline psychotic with it, like clearly there's a line to draw. But I mean,
Absolutely.
let's be real. You're not entertaining nobody else. I'm not entertaining nobody else. You like time and attention, spent passing time on the phone. Me too. I'm just saying, I don't understand what's wrong with the idea of someone like pursuing someone else and like kind of being what we consider being pressed about that other person, right? Like, nah, I wanna be pursued like that. Like, no, let me know that you're here for it. Call me in the morning, be like, oops, hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. You know what I mean? And I don't. First of all, don't call me in a lineup though. I don't want to be
Oh.
third. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't want to be the third person that you told good morning to. That
Oh. Yeah. You know what?
don't do
And we
that.
all know that's
Don't do. I'm talking about if somebody's genuinely, into somebody else because that's what's going to end up happening, right?
yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
you genuinely into somebody. Now I gotta hold back these feelings. I gotta hold back the idea of being pressed. But to me, you hold back because you kind of vetting someone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And you don't want to like offend, right? Because you're doing too much. Like now they're worried or threatened or like, is this a possessive individual? Like, no, I'm just feeling you. Like we got butterflies going. Let's let them,
Oh, y'all got butterflies going? Oh shit! See, now see, that's the women's
let's go
side of
with
it.
it.
See, and see, for us, we're always hesitant anyway because we don't want to
Mhm.
be that guy who's like too fucking pushy. Like you sweating her, you texting her all the time, and you like you on her, and you like I don't want to be that dude. But
That's
then you
good.
want to be
That
that
must
guy.
be girls who got jobs. I don't got no job. Text me all the time. I don't got no
See,
job. Yeah.
see,
And married. Can be married too. Like, yeah, 25 years. Nah, text me all the time, babe.
that,
Nah,
that
send me some.
ladies and gentlemen, you're talking to two people who've been married for 20 plus years and 28 years. So for us, it's it's not old to us because we still do that. I still text my wife. I text her every day. She texts me every day. It's not even what you doing shit. It's just that's what you do. You just check on them and keep it moving. There's nothing
Hmm.
about it. It's just a little show of love, a little tender care. We still do date night.
Hmm.
And we do everybody does date night because again, it's one of those things you don't want to lose. You when you start it, and the other thing, do not start shit that you can't continue. Don't do it. Don't start that shit in the
But
beginning.
life
Talk
will
about
do that to you. Life will do that
okay,
to you,
sometimes,
right?
but you got to
Yeah.
think. Some
It'll
things
do
you
it
got.
to you all the time. It'll do it to you all the time. See, because you have one child,
Yep,
right?
yep,
And so your world did just a little, just a little tilt, right? So imagine, right? So you had one kid and your world did just a little tilt, right? Now
absolutely.
let's say that you tilted with the second kid, right? Oh,
Oh.
okay. That's a lot. Okay. We're doing a little shit. Like life is getting a little different. Just, not that much different, but just a little different. Now
Mm-hmm.
let's add on the third
Oh.
third kid. Okay. Let's throw in a pet in there too. Right now we got to worry
Oh.
about pets when we travel, like when we doing stuff like so now we got 3 kids, 2 dogs, and then your mama got sick. So now we gotta
Oh.
take care of your mother now. Life
Jesus.
changes. And like gratefully, like perhaps you and your wife, because you're swearing that y'all never miss date night. Now I'm gonna have to confirm that with her because I don't know if you swelling.
I, what's my fault? Yes, never knew. I never missed date night. Now it may move from day to day, but I never missed a night.
Okay. Yeah, life, but I'm just saying life happens. And so you can't get away from stuff like that. The whole idea though is trying to get back. Once you realize, like, oh man, we ain't been out on a date in 10 years. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
get up and go out on a date now. No, don't just sit back and be like, we ain't been out nowhere in 10 years and now you got an attitude. No, get up. Get up. It's time to go out. It's okay. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you remember now.
Yes,
Mhm.
you're absolutely right. And what we're trying to tell you guys, not at our stage, but in your earlier stage, you're going to have to be a little vulnerable. You're
Yeah.
going to have to take a chance because if you don't take a chance, you'll never get to where you need to get to. Because one thing about this world is if you don't take any chances, you're not going to get anywhere. It's just a fact. If you don't go and say, hey, I want to get that job, I want to be a fireman. Well,
Yeah.
fuck, if you don't ever pass the goddamn test, you'll never be a fireman. If you
Yeah.
want to be a teacher, if you never go to school and pass the test, you never be a teacher. So you have to take a risk. Life is you have to take some risks.
You gotta stay.
And
I mean, to me, in relationships, you're technically supposed to stay. I think you're supposed to stay vulnerable, right?
mm,
Like that's your partner. Who else you
yeah,
gonna be vulnerable for?
that's also true. That's
No.
why you gotta be very you gotta be very selective of who you start to open yourself to. And
No,
that's why I think a lot of people are confused about it, because unlike before when we were in the dating world, it was more of we would see somebody, you talk to them, you smell them, you kind of visualize them. Now it's swipe left, swipe right.
well, that's
And
the weird part because it's like you have this whole like scanning process now, right? Where you kind of like that's your first version of vetting somebody. And
yes,
you still can't quite get it quite you can't quite figure it out. People who stay single just we still staying single, and it's like for why?
what's the
No,
purpose? What's the
choose
purpose? You
choose
get
choose to
your
date
body
the
count is
person
always going up, but yet
increasing.
you're just like, oh well, we're just friends, we're just kicking it. What the fuck?
But more than that, it's like you're not dating people, you're sexually involved with people, right?
Oh,
You're in situationships, right? So that's the first thing that's like, let's clarify that this is not dating, right?
yep.
These are situationships. And now you're dating somebody where they're not, I don't want to be this type of person, they're not pressed over you.
Oh,
Like it's
yep.
weird. It's and they're accessing your body and they're not even pressed to answer your phone when you call.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't come check up on you unless you pick up the phone and call first. They don't put gas in your car because they don't got it, for whatever reason, which is weird and as hell that you real live hanging out with somebody who's like financially all over the place. Bizarre. They're not even pressed over you and they're not financially like okay. Leave them alone. It's okay to leave certain people alone and to real life have a conversation about, why I have to leave you alone, like right here, right now. And not just for the male or the female, it goes, in both directions. Like the male might have to leave the female alone. Like if every time he turns around, like you need $2,000 a month every month for your rent, like my dear, what were you doing before you met me? Type of thing, right?
yep, yep.
Especially if the man cannot afford that type of lifestyle. Like perhaps he can afford all the bills if he lives there. But if you know genuinely like that you're putting yourself in a certain type of situation by helping her afford her lifestyle, then it's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we're not really in a situation where I feel like, I should be supporting your lifestyle on this, type of a level. I don't really want to continue to pursue you, right now. Like you got a little bit of growing to do, a little bit of figuring out to do. I would like somebody who's a little more financially like sound or like responsible or like you, something else. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. And same thing for the woman, right? The guy can't do what you need, right? It can't kind of
Hmm.
rise to the occasion that you expecting them to do. Like emotionally, he's not present.
Absolutely.
I just told you I need the man to be pressed. That means emotionally he present.
Yes.
Now you
Yes.
can see that.
I,
I would
I
have to let you know, hey, fam, like, sir, I can't do you because you're not emotionally present. Now let you do a little self work and perhaps you get there, then we can pursue each other again. But for that reason, I have to, toss you the deuces. And you have to be okay with tossing them out. And I don't want to say real quick, but quick enough before you lay down with somebody. That's dumb.
you would think that I think the same thing, T. Because here's the thing: can you communicate? Can you talk?
Mhm.
Can you fucking talk to
Yeah.
each other before you start making decisions of paying her bills, or you paying your bill? Before you get into that mixing of money and body fluids and all the other shit, can we sit there and talk? Because we're gonna have the infatuation stage. We're gonna be the cutesy cutesy. I like her. She smell good. He look good. Okay, once you get over that, where we moving? There has to be steps to this shit. It
Mhm.
can't be just we're gonna mill it here for step number one until when. Let's have a conversation. If she ain't the one,
You can't date women as men. You can't date women with the idea that the date equals sex, right? I took her on 3 dates and so we should be having sex now. Nah, because you took me on 3 dates and the chemistry is still feeling like, you're not into me, but you still want to lay down with me. Like it's
mm-hmm,
weird. Like, yeah, no, you want to schedule a date, but you're not emotionally available to me. Right? I call your
yeah,
phone, 5 times, and then you call me back like later. Like, what? You're not available. And there's nothing wrong with not being available, but there's something wrong with you not being available and trying to pursue me. Because I'm available to you, I would have that same expectation. There's nothing
absolutely.
wrong with that. We're just adults, and it was nice to have known you, or it was nice to try, as we tried to get to know each other. But let's call a spade a spade, Let's carry on because men don't like being used, and neither do women. And so don't keep trying to take me out to dates because I'm not trying to eat, your little free steaks, and you're not going to try and get my cheeks for, steak dinners. Let's stop that. Stop playing. Mm-mm.
But see, the thing is, as a guy, it is we have our hormones are rushing. Our hormones are always, when you find you're looking good
Yeah,
in our
smelling.
head.
Yeah,
You,
yeah. I
you know,
sprayed that Coco Chanel on, did that, all that. I did it just for you too. And the pursuit. Let's go with it. Did that, yeah, because of those hormones that be raging, doing all those things.
yeah.
And
So
mine's raging too, because you smelling like what did he spray
exactly.
on earlier? Yeah. No,
Well,
y'all smelling like everything wafting through those doors coming in. Like,
yes.
first
And
of all, a bag of money. That's what it be smelling like. Let him in like that. What?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So again, for us, and you y'all, everything is just all tight and holding on, barely holding on. That's in our head, and we just like it's like a kid in the candy store. I got to taste a little bit of that candy, but we
Yeah.
also understand that you ain't gonna just give us the candy. We're gonna have to work for the candy. So it kind of our view on the relationship at that point is just kind of like we have to be mature enough to say, okay, let's put our hormones in check. Let's let's
Mhm.
let's put that back in the box and let's look at her for who she is. Because again, there's a lot of guys who look at a lot of fine women and look at the extent. I call it the Trojan Horse. On
Yeah.
the outside, banging, smoking, kicking. When you finally get by all that, or you finally get them and you realize what's inside, oh, you're like, what the hell did I do? I can tell you, my guys like, man, that girl was fine as shit, but she's crazy as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm
The
like, did you notice
attitude is
that?
poor.
Oh,
Nobody
attitude
likes
stink.
her.
Yep, nobody likes her.
Didn't get
And
along with anybody.
nobody. Every time you see her, she fighting or cussing somebody out. You're like, what the fuck? What? And so you're confused. 'Cause you're like, outside, which again, we go back to growing up. The outside does not dictate what the inside is, and vice
Absolutely.
versa. It was a
Absolutely.
show called a movie called I forgot the name of it, but it was this guy hypnotized this one guy to look at this chick who was a heavy set lady.
Shallow how,
That's it.
baby. That
That's
is
it.
like
That's it. And he looked at her. He was, oh, she's beautiful as I don't
She
know
was
what,
smoking. She was a
smoking.
fox. Yeah.
Yes. And
She
he
was
just
more
was
like a
like,
Snorlax.
yes. He's like, I love her.
Mhm.
I want to be with her. Everybody was like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Because he saw her internal, her
Mhm.
inside who she was. And a lot of people, we can't be hypnotized to see somebody's insides, but you at least gotta say, let me put that hormone shit on the side for a little bit. If I really want to get to know her outside the banging body, is she intelligent? Is she trying to do something in her life? If she's the type that just in here to see me, pay for what you see, you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Vice versa. If you saw a guy, he's like he look good, but he got nothing else going on. You don't want
Mhm.
that because in the end, you're gonna foot all the fucking bill. You're gonna
Mhm.
foot all the heartache because you're gonna be one that's gonna invest in them.
But you
And
got a nice looking man on your arm. He's so cute.
hmm
Bitch.
but look at your bank account. Bank account
That is
gone.
not looking good at all. And your feelings gonna be hurt for whatever thing that you knew was missing and you still signed up for it. It's gonna hit you eventually.
Yep, it will.
like
It
like a ton
always
of
do.
damn bricks.
Sure will. It will
Like a
hit you
ton of
right
bricks.
between your eyes.
And then you're
And
gonna be like 40, like, damn, I did that. Why did I do that? Like everybody talk about the stuff that hit you at 40, but it do because I'm 38. So I'm looking at it like, damn, it's going like that. What?
but
Look,
see, it's
look at
different for
those
you.
choices.
But it's
Look at
different for
those
you.
choices.
Exactly. You're gonna look at 40 and say, oh, okay, what's going on? Because why?
Mhm,
You knew who your forever man was early. You're with your
mhm.
forever man. So you didn't go out there and kept throwing your hoo-ha on the table and keep it rolling snake eyes. Every time you turn around, come on, set with your funky ass. Snake
Yeah,
eyes.
that's the I don't want to be like that's the part that saves you, if you're married, but it
No.
does. It
But
makes it so that you are in a situation where you are very much so, well, you should be very much so protected, right? Like you're
absolutely.
not just giving yourself up to anybody. And every, some people, will debate, promiscuity in, college if you should or shouldn't, but some people think that's okay. And, if you married young, that none of that is like normalized anymore, right?
No,
Like
no.
the only thing that's normal is the idea of you being married,
Yep.
uh, and then you handling your business from there and enjoying life like regularly. But all this, everybody's looking for like this perfect companion.
Oh,
Most people wake up at 40 and you find yourself, what's even if you did get married early, right? Let's
yep.
say you got divorced and let's say, something didn't go right. Most people find themselves back with like a high school, person that they passed in the hallways or a high school sweetheart or, the girl next door, your old neighbor from around the way. You literally end up going back and finding, mates to pursue who you knew from way back when. All up in your
Hmm.
40s, right?
Yes,
All up in
yes.
your 45 plus years, right? And it's like, to me, that kind of shows that you're the mates that you supposed to kind of have settled down with. You probably would have met them before the age of 21, but you kind of fumbled and you did too much, right? Either you didn't pay them
Hmm.
enough mind or you didn't allow yourself to grow and blossom with them because technically our little society that we live in, it does kind of program us to feel like we have to try out so many people to make us find like the best candidate, right? The sharpest knife in the
Hmm.
drawer, so to speak, right?
Hmm.
As a woman, you want a certain type of man. And it's not to say, necessarily that whole idea of that alpha man or that high level man that, kind of is looming around social media right now, but you do want a certain type of man who's able to, provide and protect for you on a certain type of a level.
That's
Everybody
true.
will, right? And then
That's very
vice
true.
versa for a woman, right?
Hmm.
Um, the man's gonna want, a certain type of woman who looks a certain type of way, who moves a certain type of way, and is gonna bring certain things to the table. And so we're kind of programmed to think that you gotta go out and look, right? Search
Hmm.
for, right? Like the
Hmm.
guy who was in sixth grade science class, right? That guy, when he grows up, he's not good enough, right?
Yep.
Because, you know, we know too much about him. We remember that one time when he was clumsy in class and he fell on his face, and now he's the class clown for life in your eyes, right? That
Absolutely.
guy's gonna grow up and he's going to be the man with the master
Yep.
plan. And he's going to wife some random stranger, and she's going to, be very comfortable with the life that he's able to provide for her, right? All the
Hmm.
while you overlook this guy. And it's like
Hey,
we're always overlooking. That's why the song goes, the girl next door, right? Because we're always overlooking, the people who are right there in front of us. Because you think that the person from the next city over, or the next town over, or the next state over, or the next country over, she got it more going on. She's more exotic looking. She got bigger tatas. Her belly is more snatched. That booty is bigger. All that shit going to run out. Ass gonna get the flabbing, boobs gonna get the sagging, stomach tight, that shit gonna get the flapping. Like everything gonna run out. Only thing that's not gonna run out is what's genuine, between me and you, right? The chemistry,
absolutely.
the friendship, right? The throwback movies that we saw when we was growing up, right? Like you need to be relatable to each other.
That is so true, T. Because
Mhm.
I have a few comments come to our channel, and a lot of guys said they're in their 30s and 40s, and pretty much 9 out of 10 says this. When I was in school, I was a nerd. I was a nerdy guy. I was a bookworm.
Mhm.
Um, you know, wasn't popular, wasn't doing all this. And the nice girls, or the girls who were popular, they always wanted the bad boys. They always
Mhm.
wanted Mr. Mystery, Mr. About to go jail tomorrow type dude. And mess with them, dating them, having babies by them. And I'm a nerd. I go to school, I get my degrees, I get a great job. I'm taking care of myself now, and I don't see him for a while. He said, one guy said, I'm 43, and I saw a chick I had a crush on in high school. And I was a nerd. I was in the band. I was chubby and all that. He said, "Well, now I'm 6'2". He said, I make 7 figures now."
Mhm.
And I saw her, and she wasn't the same chick. Where I'm in high school, she little thicker. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "I don't remember you." He said, "I'm blah blah." She still didn't remember him. He said, "Well, I used to be the guy," and he's a chubby guy, played in the band, and she's like, "Such and such." Yeah, that's me. Oh my God! If I had known that you was gonna be like this, and he said, "No." He's right now. He said it wasn't even a rubber facing it kind of thing. It was kind of
Mhm.
like, "Thank you." He said, "I put that work in, but you didn't want me. You want the bad guy, the guy who's gonna get you in trouble and all that other bullshit." And where's he at now? Probably dead in jail, got a little rack of kids. But here I am right now, thinking I was the oddball and that I didn't deserve you. And now he said, I didn't deserve you. I didn't deserve that kind of mess in my life because you were gonna cause me to have a messy life. And I was like, God damn. It's like he said, I like how y'all talk about, people taking ownership for the thing and then don't look back and think, oh, this could have been. He said, no, it wasn't meant to be. He said, it was not meant
Edit,
to be with her. And I was like, damn, good. He said,
co-host,
keep pushing.
edit my laugh out of that because I did too much just there.
I'm like, God damn. But again, a lot of guys say that. A lot of
Okay,
guys, I may not been that guy in high school who
right.
didn't look like the guy on the football team. I may have been that guy walking around, didn't really uncomfortable with who I was and who I was going to be. Didn't know. Who the hell knows who they're going to be in high school for the most part?
Yeah.
So I got myself together, and now I'm this guy. And now to go back and see the women who I really like and see how their lives really didn't turn out as well as they thought, and how their lives, the nerd or the guy who wasn't that good, turned out to be this upstanding member of society. It's like I just want to let guys know, just hang in there and work on yourself. And
Nah,
y'all keep putting that stuff out there, man. I love y'all. I had to join. I had to join. I said, I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop that in on
nah,
the
damn
podcast.
it. Damn, it's number one. Okay, I'm gonna just be this type of person because I am. Okay, stop raising your sons as damn nerds. Okay, we black people for a reason. Like swag on. Okay, your son can be a scholar, can be like good at sports or good at instruments or good at singing or whatever it is with the swag on. Okay, Don't
Yes.
stop it. Yeah, because it is confusing our daughters. It is. Because that looks ridiculous. I have to recall, Simon from 6th grade with his pants all the way tucked tight in, like he don't like have a clue that, like, sir, take your damn shirt up out of your pants like that. Like, why are you sending your kids to school with high waters on and they get labeled as nerd? They ain't even smart. They just a nerd because they pants was high waters. No, ma'am. Take good care of our sons. And yes, a little swag on. See, swag on starts in like pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. What? No, again, no. I'm sorry. I had to raise mom's official. I had to raise, and if anybody tried to say that I didn't, they lying. They lying. You must. I don't want to brag on I'm not going to do it to the rest of America. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to brag on my son, but yes, I did mine properly, right? And if you get back and you say I wasn't checking on him, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole complete package. I'm sorry. I did that. I did it. Why I'm
You know what? And you're right, America. She makes sure that them kids are swagged out. There's no question about that. And somebody got to be responsible for it.
out, right? Make sure that they spiritually sound. Make sure that
Hello?
they mentally, up to date. Make sure that they on grade level. Make sure that they, got a proper plan after high school, right? Like more than just swag on, right? Just making sure that they're well-rounded. So you're not just into books only because the books won't come alive now, right? My son, he's into soccer, right? First few years of elementary school, all of his science experiments, they were physics, and they all involved soccer.
No.
Why not? That's his thing.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, because that's his thing. I make the books come alive. So now we're reading about, soccer players. Now we're, learning about how the ball rolling over grass versus rolling over, clean surface,
Oh, wow.
Make those books come alive. Because if you're saying that your kid is just a nerd, they only sitting in books and in library, like, that's good. And I'm not coming for nobody who enjoys reading, because we enjoy reading as well. We have several bookcases in our homes. Son said to me, while we got all these books, you ain't even read all these books. Son, yeah, I did. I am that old. Like, yeah, I am that old. Like, I read all those books, son. That's why I don't take none off the shelf. I read them all. So we do believe in reading, but just being focused on just one thing only, that's not a well-rounded person. So I kind of do, like, I feel what old boy saying. Y'all ain't want me back then, but now you want me now. Yeah, we do, because you got your shit together. Because back then, no, absolutely not. Nobody could have want you like that. I'm sorry. Because I recall some of the fellas, and I knew they was going to be able to come through, right? I knew, I caught it. It's some of the other people, because I don't need them, clearly, right?
Yeah, no.
Some of the other people, like the singles, right? They might need them. And I told them I said, listen, nah, he gonna be a good husband. They didn't want to believe me, right? Because I could see him, but I would have more so appreciated, right? If some of them were a little, because sometimes the nerds are not as culturally aware.
Absolutely.
True. And like, as far as like just a little more swag on, like just being like, what, you only reading one type of genre? What's going on there? Because that too adds on to, the idea of how, not to say nerd or non-nerd is moving, but you're going to compare them to the bad boys, right? Just because you look a certain part, that doesn't mean you a bad boy, right?
Absolutely.
Some of them, back in my day, they had the cornrows, or, they had the baggy jeans, but some of them got those grades, right? And they were scholars, right? They was on honor roll, and they going places, and they arrived to those places, because like I said, we're 40, so there's no potential now. It's only what happened. So you know what I'm saying? So those people, they happen by 40. So we see them now, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
And T, we want to make this clear, ladies. If by 40 that dude says to you, I'm still trying to find myself. His ass is lost.
No, because he be on number two, career number two. That's what it is.
Yes.
About 40. Like, yeah, I'm trying to pursue a whole another line and stuff. That means you got the first retirement like lined up. You already retired from something. That's why you trying to
Exactly.
pursue something else, because you like, I'm over it. I did this for the first 20, 25 years of my life. I'm trying to pursue something else because, I'm just kind of burnt out there. Sure. You got the money
Absolutely.
to fuel it, fund it. Do you?
Absolutely. But it's again, but women have to step back and look at what he's saying. Not what he's saying, but what you're not hearing. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with men. You see a chick, a woman 40 years old, she may have a kid or two, and you're like, well, why she ain't got nobody? Or 40 and don't have any kids. You say, well, why you ain't got no kids? Why you ain't got nobody? So it's you have to kind of see what that is. And it could be a multitude of things. But you got to ask. You can't just sit there and assume. You don't think that, well,
So
maybe it's
okay,
this.
so here, let's explore a woman who got two kids and don't have nobody. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to come for that. I'm not coming for anybody, because
Mm-hmm.
it'd be crazy on both sides, right? And we've seen them in all different situations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But as a man who comes into a woman's life who has two kids, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to admit this woman probably doesn't know much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you sat up in her life and you were not also willing to teach her anything, but you
Ooh.
wanted her as your like. But what did you want her for? Like,
Yeah.
just to have a good go with her again? Some of
Damn.
them babies in them all over again, and then try to claim that it's her fault. Like, whatever happened, it's all her fault. Or she be lunching, or she be tripping, or she be doing this and not be doing that, or she don't take care of her kids, or she disrespectful. She's all of those things. But see, you knew those things before you even signed up for the play. You came into a situation that you knew was not proper, was toxic, and was in need of aid and help. You come in to lay down with a woman who got two kids, that means you that aid and help. Whether it be appropriate or not appropriate, that's what you coming in to sign up for.
That is so true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And then you leave a kid behind? What? Nah,
Oh.
come get your kids. Nah, all three of them. How about that?
Oh.
Because you collecting them all. If the
Oh.
world was like that, right? But that's how I'm just like, what? What?
And a guy should think, if you see a woman 40, we use 40, and she has kids, you should know that somehow you're just coming to pick up pieces. Because at that point, that's two, if it's the same two, it could be, husband, boyfriend, whatever. But if it's two kids by two different people, that means that it didn't work out there. So now she's looking for somebody to love her for who she is and what
Mm-hmm.
she has. And a lot of guys would go for it, but I know a whole lot of other guys that would. They're like, oh, hell no. Mm-mm. Especially if they don't have any kids.
Yeah,
A
so
guy, no kid, he
you're
don't
not
want that.
actually supposed to love her for who she is and what she has, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
actually supposed to elevate her to where she needs to be and to see if she can rise to that occasion. That's part of the vetting process. I had a
Mm-hmm.
cousin who was pretty much in the same situation, decided to leave her guy, wanted to get with another guy. And, she came from a situation that was financially, okay, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was a little more financially stable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she moved out on her own, financial, now she's independent, right? And when I say independent, I mean independent of the funds from the ex, right? And so now
Mm-hmm.
you have to maintain your own household, pay your rent, pay it on time, type of thing. Rent comes to due. She's short a couple $100, and he's like, okay, well, what you gonna do? Like, she knows for a fact that this guy can provide, right? He
Mm-hmm.
can just send her over the money, and he's asking her literally like, what you gonna do? And he normally spoils her before now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, she picks up the phone. She calls. Who else she gonna call, right? She calls up me. Like, hello, how you doing, girl? What's going on? She's like, Tamara, let me tell you what's going on, right?
Uh-oh.
So she explains the situation as such, and she's like, So what's going on here to why he's just not basically volunteering to pick up, the extra couple $100, like we talked about earlier, right? That 20%, right? Because she got the 80, right? And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, why you not trying to spot me my little 20%, right? Because that's what we've been doing. I said, ooh, boo. You got to pull that money up out your ass because old boy is vetting you right now. And he wants to make sure that once he puts his money into your hands, that you're not gonna fuck it up. Okay. Now
Hello.
you need to test it. Now you can play around and be petty if you want. Talk about some you don't got this little 300. But anybody who came up with the bulk of it, you got the rest of it, sis. Like, and if you don't, you gotta call somebody and ask for it. And don't ask me because we on the phone. Like, don't be tacky. Don't be tacky. Please don't do that. But basically, that was really what was going on. That a man who really was a little bit more financially stable and just a little higher economic level than she was, he
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to basically see, not like, oh, do you make as much money as me, and can you kind of play in the same playing field as I'm playing in, but baby girl, are you going to be financially stable? Are you going to be financially sound? Are you going to sign up for things that you know that you can't afford? You like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, can you really afford this? And are you going to sign, or are you going to overextend us? Because it never matters how much money you got coming in.
Nope.
What only ever matters is how much money is leaving out. Like, if you got 12 grand coming in every month and you spending 11,500 every
Mm,
month, guess what? You're
mm.
poor.
Yes.
They look like heaven, cars, shoes, whatever. You're going to be poor though at the end of the day because you spent way more money than you need
Absolutely.
to be. It's not
Wow.
enough left at the end of the month.
Oh.
So for a man to vet a woman, or for a woman to be vetting a man to make them better, because I didn't mention this part. She had 2 children.
Oh, you didn't mention that.
I didn't mention that part, right? Because that's how we are, right? That's how we just like leave shit out. Because I'm a woman. I am. I gotta claim who I am. I just left that part out. But she does. She did at the moment have 2 kids. And to me, I'm just like, oh nah, this guy, he's serious. And to me, he was worth it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
get your ass up and start proving your wealth and your worth, not your wealth. Prove your worth also, because as women, oh no, baby, we gonna make sure. Well, most women, a woman of, I'm gonna call them a high value woman.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A
I
high
value
value
women.
woman is going to make certain that you are worth her time, energy, and all that. At
Absolutely.
least you should, or you don't value yourself.
Good
Think
God.
about it. We out here, so I need a high value man. Are you a high value woman? Like,
Hello.
and it's not, so you're not a boss bitch at your job talking about some that's a high value woman, right? We not valued the same way. So
Mm-mm.
we gotta keep that part at the top of the mental space. We're not valued the same way. Your
No.
6 figures, it's that makes you great. 6 figures for me, that just makes me, I'm still just mom. I'm still
Yep.
just mom. My son one day he told me, "Ma, you just do hairs all day." Hairs with an S. I said, yeah, sure. I just do hairs all day. Like, I barely even have a job. I'm just the mom. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. Doesn't matter how many businesses you have. Doesn't matter how much money you're making. At the beginning and end of the day, I'm mom and wife.
Yeah.
Fuck. You could have got all the accolades, all the degrees, all the successes, and the biggest honor truly is just to be, somebody's wife or somebody's mom or somebody's, soulmate or forever partner, right? And
Yes.
you out here trying to
Yes.
get everything else that doesn't even count for anything. Because as soon as your man go down, guess who the first one coming out of work? Me. No, I'm
Yep.
taking care of him. Excuse me, I'm going out on leave.
That's true. That is so true. And that's the problem with this world today is everybody try to wrap their worth in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to someone and you ask them about themselves, they talk about the degrees they got, the jobs they got, the money they got. that means nothing to me
Mm-hmm.
because all it takes is something unfortunate to happen to you for all
Mm-hmm.
that to end. So if your job goes, your money goes, your title goes, then what? What are
Yep.
you? And I think
And
a
so
lot of people don't look at that.
yeah, so for a woman, like those titles, those jobs, all of that is, like the attributing things to the conversations that you can hold and have. And
Hmm.
how to, can you kind of nurture and take care of, your household and engage your husband in conversations, engage, his friends and co-workers and, necessary conversations. Like that's just a journey. Teaching your children, what to do, kind of navigating them through college. Like those experiences are literally just for the it's literal. And some women don't, you know, perhaps we're not comfortable with the idea of, going to college just for the journey's sake, right? And coming out with a
Hmm.
ring as opposed to just a degree, right? The whole idea that you graduated with a ring too, right? Um, but it is that whole concept. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't in college and old boy was impressed with me, all up at the little dorm room checking for me, I didn't go again, but she proud. I just went to Victoria's Secret and bought my best smell good and made sure that these lips was popping because I was just as pressed for him, right, as he was for me. Right?
Yes, yes. So, but again, you knew who you were. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of women and men don't know who they are. I hear all the time, I need somebody to make me feel worthy or make me
Oh,
feel
whole
good about
again.
myself or whole again.
Yeah.
And that, it's always a bothersome statement. Whenever I fucking hear that, I'm just like, okay, so you're missing a part until this person finds
It's,
you.
it doesn't bother me because I get it. I totally get it. It's the fact that you just have to kind of undo that because what ends up happening is I was whole.
Hmm.
I was living my best life as a matter of fact. I wasn't even worried about no men. I didn't even know men, right? I was just living the
Wow.
best life. Me and my girlfriends, we've been just out hanging out. We had been doing this our whole life. And then love had introduced itself to me, right?
Ah.
And I
Hmm.
didn't even know this thing called love, right? And then it loves. I didn't know that this thing that I didn't know about could just then leave and make me feel like what was it that was just here that's not here anymore? And so to me, when people say I'm just trying to get whole back, I'm just like, I get it. I get it. But you have to recall that time before that love kind of took over you. And for some women, you gotta go back to them teenage years. For
Oh, wow.
real, because love came into your life when you were very young, right? And it
Mhm,
kind of filled a little piece of you. And then when love left, right, you filled it with
mhm,
another little piece of love. And maybe it wasn't the best love, but that love kind of filled that little spot. And
mhm.
then as you got older, people start talking about you gotta heal. And so now you by yourself for a little bit longer because you like, I'm trying to heal, but that healing still didn't just quite come because you like, which I don't you just don't quite get it. Because you're
Yeah.
talking about, oh, he can't make you happy, but he makes me sad. Like, what you talking about? You can't, like for women, it's such you really have to sit there with that concept, right? You
Mm.
literally got to sit there with the concept and just let that thing marinate in your mental space and just recognize what's really happened and what you need to get back, because you literally do feel like even though you didn't need this piece for so long, once you got it and then lost it, how do I feel it again? And you really don't need to feel it again, and you really didn't lose it, but what you found was great and amazing, right?
Mhm,
But you
mhm.
didn't you don't really lose anything. You don't really lose anything.
Okay, now I'm gonna go from a devil's advocate. There are women who never ever in their lives felt love. There are women and men who never ever felt love in their lives. Whether it was the parents couldn't give them love, the mama couldn't give them love, whoever couldn't give them love, so they find themselves love deprived
So
their
are they
entire life.
looking to be completed? Are those the
Th-
people who are
th-
claiming to look to be completed?
Yes, there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people just knows that I know there's love out here. I know I see it. I see it in different forms, but I haven't never personally felt that.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody comes into my life who basically sees or fills that spot that I've never felt before, there's
Mm-hmm.
almost a sense of, oh my God, they're what I'm looking for. They complete me.
Yeah.
It's really not the to me, it's not really they complete you. You were so deprived of love that someone who showed you an ounce of love or caring. You took that as genuine love, and oh my God, they're gonna love me to the day I die because you were so deprived. It's like a man in the desert. You know, if he's walking in the desert and he's looking for water, and all of a sudden he see a water about as wide as a quarter and as deep as a quarter. To him, that's like jumping into a just like drinking a huge thing of clear, clean water.
Wow.
Because it's like,
So
oh my God, it's the
he'll
best
even
thing
take
water
the
I've ever had.
sun at that point. That's what you're saying. He'll even settle for the sun.
So that's why, because again, what you said is true. But what I also say is also true, and they're just searching for something to love them. Because no one ever showed them love. No one ever really showed them general love, or they cared about them. Yeah, you put food on the table, roof over their head. But
Mhm.
for example, I know people who told me their parents never once in their life told them they loved them. Not one time,
That's,
their
I
entire
mean,
life. And I
I
said,
don't
and
know.
I asked them, I said, do you did it did they never say this? They said, no, never. Never said they love me.
Do they tell them they love their children? Like, do they tell their parents now that they love them?
They do. And they said the parents feel awkward. They feel like it's foreign to them. And I just told them, I said, you know what? That means that they're just carrying on the chain, I call it the curse, that was
Mhm.
passed to them.
Who
Most
doesn't
people,
like who doesn't like making their parents feel awkward? I love it.
and
If
that's
you
that's
tell
also
those
true. You
parents,
do
I
want to
love
feel weird.
them
You do.
every day. Hey mom, love you. Good morning. Yeah, let's get awkward. I mean, yeah,
So
gotta
you
get
got those people out here searching for somebody to just love them, just to show
awkward.
me some love. And that's why a lot of women and men, go in and out of relationships that we can look and say, why the fuck you even mess with that person? That person don't love you. But they just don't have a footing, a firm foundation of love. So
Mm-hmm.
they're searching for anybody. That's why you look at women who you like, God damn, I'm trying to turn around, she with somebody new. They're all the same goddamn, but different look, different dude, but they're always the same problem.
Same
It-
kind of guy.
Same kind of guy, he does the same kind of problem. She's like, is it him or is it me? No, it's
Oh,
you.
it's you. It's you,
And
sis.
you
I
have to
mean, no,
spend
it's
some time.
it's really him, but you keep bringing the same hymns around.
Just
So
different
that
faces,
means
but
it's you. That
same
means
energy you
it's you.
bring around. So at that point, it's not the person that's going to make you happy. It's you. And you have to
Yeah,
do the work necessary to make sure that you start to right that wrong, because it's not a good look to see women in their 30s and 40s and 50s and even 60s who are
yeah.
like, I'm still trying to find somebody to just love me. I don't know what I need to do to find them to love me, who I am. You know, I asked one particular person, who are you?
So outside of the who are yous and the do you love me's and all that good stuff, one thing that's been kind of trending on social media lately is the idea of like truly pursuing and enjoying your mate as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think in that pursuit, as we build a friendship, as opposed to like, I love romance, right? I'm a Pisces in nature, like, what? No, we need a little romance in our life. I'm sorry. We love it. We need it. Some people need romance, but not just romance, right?
Mm-hmm.
A genuine friendship that is
Yeah.
built, right? Respect, loyalty, right? You
Yep.
will expose who you really are because you're secure enough to do so because you're now with a friend, right?
Yes.
You're not with an opportunist anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because some
Mm-hmm.
guys and some women, right, they're dating
Mm-hmm.
for an opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
If you're dating
Absolutely.
to genuinely engage in a friendship with someone, to truly be friends and to build a solid foundation with someone, right?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Where can you go wrong there? Because romance, definitely, we need the romance there. I think by default, we can all agree that we have the romance thing down pat.
Oh, absolutely. That is never a problem. Romance is never going to be the issue, but it's the journey. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's the journey, and people think this is not a rabbit race. This is a
Yeah,
turtle race.
yeah,
And again, you're gonna have ups and downs, but you have to, you like you said, you have to be, you have to have some sort of friendship. It
yep,
can't be like she look good, he look good, and all that shit. That's fine, dandy. But as time goes on, things change, people change, attitudes change. So you have to be in communication and actually like each other
yep,
in order to continue this journey. Because
yep.
if you don't like each other, at
And you
some
don't
point,
respect each other.
oh,
Like I don't respect like certain parts of how you move and maneuver, right? Like
mm-hmm,
that's going to be a deal breaker, right?
yep,
Certain men complain about, she don't respect, or they cannot necessarily verbalize, she don't respect, but internally that's what it is, right? If you a man and you inside of a household and you can't really discipline the children that lives inside the household because they're not your kids, she
oh,
doesn't respect your leadership inside the household. Now most men are going to report that back as, nah, you can't say true that.
mm-hmm,
But in turn, what that ultimately is saying is that she does not respect your leadership,
yeah, that's a true
right?
statement.
So when you're not able to respect people and you cannot respect each other, like I don't respect how you go and move about. I don't respect your ways to discipline. I don't respect the very idea that you think that you should be disciplining, and children in a house, which is weird that another adult is okay with children not being disciplined by any adult inside of a home. Anyone who is welcome inside of your home who's an adult should be able to not say like do a lot as far as disciplining, but saying something to like, yo, you need to stop that. It's time to go to bed type of thing. I'm going to tell,
Yes.
your mother, or no, you're going to be in trouble. The punishment is A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z. Like to a certain extent, all adults do a level of disciplining inside of a space where there's any children present.
You have to, because y'all two decide, two consenting adults decide to come together as a unit, and either one or both have kids. You should know that, hey, if we're together, your kids are my kids are your kids,
Yep.
because I know you that you're not gonna do nothing to hurt my kids, and I'm damn sure not gonna do nothing to hurt your kids because we have that understanding. We talk, we know parenting styles and parenting, how we look at parenting.
Yep.
So if you're saying don't talk to my kid, oh,
Yep.
then
Or
then
let's
now,
move in, but don't talk to my kids.
oh
As
no.
a man, you have to understand, and you would also have to break this down. And this is a teaching moment between you and the young lady, especially if y'all really like each other. Like, my dear, by you asking me to move in, but I'm not allowed to discipline, your children, that's a form of disrespect for my leadership, right? I cannot protect, you and your son if he does not respect me and the commands that I am supposed to be giving him. If he doesn't trust me to do as I say,
Mm-hmm.
we can run into serious problems further down the road,
Oh.
to where if I give a direct command to him, he feels like, huh? What? Why are you telling me what to do? What? Because the man about to come in the house and murderize us all. What? Keep your head down, and shut the hell up. Then you got kids fucking asking all these questions because the respect has been gone. It would never ever showed up because
Yep.
you was too scared about, your kid going back to their biological, father and saying, well, he told me, I need to clean up my room. Yeah, asshole. Any goddamn adult that come inside this house and see how dirty your damn room is going to tell you you need to clean up this room. That's nasty and it stinks. Open up a window. Like, what?
That's true though.
What?
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
And then you can't, and that's the other thing. When you have kids, you can't have your kids play those games. And here's the
No.
other thing. Stop bringing a whole lot of goddamn people in your house. See,
Mm,
and that goes back to, if your
mm.
kid sees every fucking day they see a different dude walk through the door. And he at that point, like, why gonna respect him? He ain't gonna be here no longer than the
But
last two dudes.
yeah, but that's the whole idea of like you not vetting people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You not vetting people. You
Yep.
don't have a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where's the father's presence at? Because a father who was present, right, whether he has a village to add to the situation or equation, he should at least be able to remove the child out of the household at least every other weekend as a bare minimum, right? 2 days, 2 days every other week as a bare minimum, so that this woman can maintain and have some bit of a love life, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody, wants to be social and get out there, right? And
Absolutely.
generally speaking, the women who you see that are kind of like a little more lenient with dating like that, a little reckless like that, they full timers.
Yeah.
And that shit is hard. Like I could never imagine even being like a married individual, keeping my kids how many days a week? What? Nah, let me drop these jokers off to somebody's grandmother's house because they here like 31 days out of the month. No, not even their own biological mother and father do I real life want to be dealing with these kids every day of the week. And so the very idea that I'm trying to date, I'm trying to, talk dirty to old boy on the phone. I'm like, can't do that. Them damn kids running around all up in my background, fucking minding my business, and fucking balls and spinners all out. You all up in my conversation, hearing me and shit. Like, no, I can't do all those things. So when that village show up, though, the woman is able to date a little more responsibly. So when we talk
Absolutely.
about, the woman dating irresponsibly, generally speaking, the mate that she has chosen, because you definitely choose your mate, like we said before, because there is a vetting process, and whether or not you choose to vet your person, right or wrong, it's up
Mm-hmm.
to you, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going to show up for you. That's the person who's supposed to be there, to give that relief, because clearly the father who's not present, he has all the leeway to go out and date appropriately without the children seeing, the multiple women. He has that.
Exactly.
He
And
has
that's
that.
the truth because we see it all the time. And the problem is we also see the results of that too.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you start dating and the kids start feeling like, you know what, nobody gives a shit. My dad don't care, my mom don't care. Then you have them streets with other kids who got the same situation. So now you have a gang. You got
Yeah.
gang kids sitting around
Or,
saying,
or they start pretending like they got those situations going. They start convincing themselves that they in a household with no mother and no father and nobody pays them no mind. And so they start hanging out with kids who real life don't have a mother and father and start telling them, oh no, I don't have a mom. Oh, I don't have my dad don't give a shit about me. Boy, your father makes six figures. He gives all the fucks about you. He is caught up in love for the moment, right? But
mm-hmm,
you out there selling the streets a whole lie, and you losing your kid because of love and romance.
uh,
Because you try to find, your significant other, your new forever mate. And
and then as you said, they worry about their love lives, but now the kids out in the street.
mm-hmm,
And the kids out there doing some fuck shit, like,
mm-hmm,
running in the stores and stealing shit,
yep,
from stores and doing carjackings and all the other crazy shit these kids
yep,
out here doing and not going to school. And then I heard some on the news say, well, you know what? It's the schools. No, 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 no. It starts at home because if your parent, whoever is raising you, has control or dictate what you can and can't do, you're not out there running the streets, breaking the stores and stealing shit and coming home. First of all, I like the thought if I stole some shit, brought it home, and they didn't buy it when I was growing up, whoo, I wouldn't be here talking to you. They would have killed me. So first of all, I ain't teach you how to fucking steal. And you go out there and steal some shit? Because why?
yeah.
Oh, especially I'm stealing, so I said I'm gonna steal because Pooh and them went out there and stole some shit. That'd be the last thing I got out of my mouth before they shot me. Beat
But
the
you're
shit out of
right.
me.
I mean, parents, kids are getting things past parents. The more parents show up to the workplace, the more things kids gonna be able to get past them. And
Yep.
that's the other problem. Like to me, the school systems are a problem. To the two income households are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of things that we can label as being the problem, but ultimately we can also label the solution as, like you said, keeping a solid control over your kids and implementing, plenty and enough time to spend with your kids and paying your kids some mind. Yeah, you still got to clean the kids' rooms, and when I say clean, I mean go through them. I
Yep.
don't want to be the type of person.
Yes.
You just gotta go through their room. Like I just a little scan. If your kid has a car, you gotta, every other week, you just gotta grab the keys and just, maybe just do a little tussle through the car because, like, what are you trusting them that much? That's foolish. How much I'm gonna trust a 17-year-old?
You
What?
can't. No, 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 no,
Because when
no.
I was 17, I'm not even going to tell you the lifestyle that I was living at 17. No, don't trust me for shit. Okay. I don't trust my son for shit. Okay. Nah, don't
That's
trust
so
him
true.
at all.
No,
Yeah.
you can't
Nah,
because
as a
again, at
girl,
17, you can barely wash your ass. You gotta tell me,
yeah,
did you wash your ass today?
yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Fuck. So
Either,
you
either
can't
they
trust them.
and either they don't wash their ass or they always in the shower. Get the fuck out of the shower. What are you doing in there? Nah, you need to pay some of this water bill. Yeah, using up all the water. No, hell no. At
Yes.
17, I don't trust none of this shit because your job is to lie to me at that age, right? Because you
Yep.
all trying to do some shit that I already told you ain't doing. I told you go to the right. You like, oh, I'm trying to go to the left. For what? I just told you not to go do that dumbass shit, and you said you're gonna do it just because I told you not to do that shit. Nah, check up on these guys, especially the ones who swear up and down, oh, they doing everything right. Them goddamn athletes, them straight A students. Like I told you, I did my joint all the way on par. Right, my son
Mhm.
is on point, whole complete package. I don't trust his ass at all. Your job is to hide behind good grades. Nah, let me see what's up in this car.
There
Nah,
you go.
what the hell are you doing? Because I need to be up in your business. I don't like no surprises.
No, we
Mm-mm.
don't want to surprise it. And parenting is hard. Nobody
Yeah,
said this shit is easy. It's never
no,
gonna be easy. It's getting harder now because you have technology.
yep.
So that's the only difference now. It's a little harder because they try to be a little bit more sneakier. But they don't
Yeah,
give a fuck.
and you don't want to go through your kid's phone. That's the other weird part. Why you don't want to go first of all?
Mm.
You happy I don't even have a life. That's number one. Okay. You don't even have a damn life. Okay. Nah, let me see what the kids doing up in this building. Now I'm all up in that phone seeing what the hell y'all talking about. Yes, because I'm nosy as all get out. And I care. I give a
I
fuck.
got to.
Yeah.
Again,
And
either
it's
I
my
care.
phone. It's my phone. We just keep it in your room. Yeah.
For phones.
It's both our phones. Stop playing with me.
You know,
Yeah.
and that is the most important thing, you know, that I have to say is you as a mother, you are on top of them like stink on shit, but you also give them the freedom to think and do what they do
Yeah.
because they have to learn in the world. We're not gonna be here behind you forever.
We're
We're not
not.
gonna be behind you and follow behind you when you drop something, pick it up. No,
Mm-mm.
because at some point you can be out in this world by yourself,
Yep.
and you need to carry yourself accordingly.
Yep.
And that also goes back to this whole discussion about love hurts. It does hurt. It
Mm.
hurts everybody. And
It's
again,
supposed to hurt.
it's supposed to
What
hurt.
I said, if we break up, now I want to see you hurting. Yeah, because I know that I'm hurt because I'm supposed to hurt. And it's not
Yes.
to be like, oh, you super toxic because you want to see the man hurt. No, because I walk around pretending like the shit don't hurt, and then I'm sitting back looking crazy because I got bags up underneath my eyes. No, love's supposed to hurt. It hurt you and it hurt me.
Yes, it does.
It hurt
And
us both, and it was your
it,
fault.
it,
Damn,
I gotta be his fault. You know what? See, all right, people.
you know it.
I'm gonna
You
say
know
this. Love hurts, but you have to learn from love because love will leave you scarred up.
it. Mm-hmm.
And understand this fact: you survived it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it killed you, then dead people don't scar. So
Yeah.
use those scars, learn from those scars, and pass on the knowledge you learn from those scars to other people, so they can at least learn it. And if they don't use it, they can't say nobody told you. So T, what you want to say in this discussion?
Listen, I heard this song by Usher, right? And he was talking about him and old girl not good, but they good, right? And it was
Okay.
a breakup song. And he basically was talking about how the love between them, it was amazing, right?
Hmm.
But you just wasn't my forever person. So me and you, we not good, but I wish you well. And so therefore we good, right?
Okay.
You're
Okay.
not my forever person, but I don't have to. After I'm done seeing you hurt like I hurt, right?
Hmm.
I technically do wish well on everybody who you've come in contact with, because you definitely don't know if you're gonna see those people on the second go round, right? It's always a little second go round. Come right back around. You don't know who you gonna meet again, right?
True.
Do good things to people. Split up and try to split up, and it doesn't have to be on good terms, because that would be weird, because if you're splitting up on good terms, generally speaking, you just might not be splitting up. But you don't
Yeah.
have to try to tear somebody down in order to carry on and move on to the next person. It's really okay to wish somebody well who hurt you. They don't now, hey, they don't have to break you down, okay?
Hmm.
But they can hurt you, because love does hurt. But it's okay to carry on, to move on, and to wish somebody well as you both, go on to pursue your forever mate in life. You're not going to get nowhere by being bitter and just angry for a whole lifetime.
No.
No, no, you're going to get stuck.
Oh, damn. There's that wisdom. The wise lady. The wise lady has as she always does. She ends these podcasts with that wisdom. Damn it, we're gonna get you a book. We're gonna write a book
I
of your
love it.
wisdom.
Let's go with it.
Gonna have to. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Listen, you know what you gotta do. Like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you know when the next episode is going to come out. And again, I want to thank all the new subscribers. I want to thank all the new followers. I want to thank of all the comments and thoughts and all that. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We really do. And we'll be back again with a new episode. Until then, peace and blessings.